Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Philip Lang. I'm here from the Open Data Institute in London today, and I'm here to talk about talking about open data. And I'm going to try and keep it really simple because that's what my job is. If it isn't simple, then I should probably be fired from my job. Just to give you an overview of the ODI and what we do. So the ODI sets out to promote open data culture in order to create economic, environmental, and social value. We help to unlock supply, generate demand, create and share knowledge to address local and global issues. So our focus is quite broad. We try to achieve these goals by doing a number of things. We have a startup program which is currently in its third intake. We provide international training to governments, to businesses and to individuals. We have a global membership network. We embark upon research, R&D, and we create standards around open data licensing. And then we also produce content, so multimedia, research papers, and that's why I'm here to speak to you today. So I'll give you an overview of how we've shaped our message basically in the last 2 years. We've been around since 2012. Like I said, it won't be technical, but let's begin at the beginning point. So we want to keep things really simple so everyone can understand open data, and it's not just the technical audience that we're talking to. So like even this took a long time to get to, a lot of conversation. I think at least 2 people were injured trying to get to this and kind of boil it down. But this acts as a really good launch pad for us. You know, it's our core, it's what we use, and we go out and we build other things like research papers or videos or events. It's our main point. So data surrounds us. It's generated by us. It can be used by us in ways that can be beneficial or detrimental to us. It's for this reason that I believe it's crucial to educate around what data is, how it can be used, and by whom. I'm personally aiming for quite a broad audience to educate, as I think these concepts, which sometimes could be quite technical, are definitely communicable. Plus, understanding how things work and what is possible is of huge importance to our society and culture. From here, I'd like to take you through really briefly, really quickly through how we've kind of defined our message over the last couple of months and the different pieces that have come together, just how we generally talk about data as an organization. So in the very early days, we produced this graphic, and it was defining. You know, we used it quite a lot. It was in our presentations, and it kind of shaped how we talked about data internally and externally, how open data kind of sat alongside other things like big data and personal data, and how these areas overlapped. But there were problems with this, kind of very core problems, and it wasn't really fit for purpose because it wasn't representative of the truth, because it didn't really speak about things like closed data or shared data, data that when individuals, governments, or corporations, you know, want to share or want to keep to themselves. It also didn't speak about licensing, as open data is only truly open when it's licensed for use, and anyone can take it, access it, and use it. So our message developed over time, and we refined it, and we then moved on to this idea of a data spectrum, where there's a closed end of the spectrum, a shared section, and then the open. So in the very closed, you've got your thoughts, which obviously are your thoughts. You don't necessarily want to share them. And then the value of pi at the other end, where anyone can access it, anyone can use it, they can do what they like with it. So where am I? After this period of internally refining our message, we got to the point where we had an understanding inside of our organization of how data works for us in the different areas, we could then begin to communicate that. And from there, then, we would produce assets like this video, which is something that we've released 2 weeks ago, and it's for a broad audience to understand what we're talking about. So I'm going to play this for you quickly now, and I'll then move on with what I'm discussing.
Data is changing our world for the better. It is improving the quality of life for billions of people every day. It's everything from the Excel spreadsheet you use in the office to the citizen science projects that are helping us to beat cancer. And you're feeling the benefits of it right now, even if you don't know it's happening. But in order to get the greatest benefit from all of this data, we must understand how it can be used and how to describe it. 3 key terms at the centre of all this opportunity are closed data, shared data, and open data. The difference between closed, shared, and open data is all about who can use data and how. Open data is data that anyone can access, use, and share. Governments and organisations have opened up access to data such as weather records, earthquake monitoring, and even particle physics, allowing others to use this data and discover new solutions for the benefit of all. But it's not enough to simply release this data. For data to be considered truly open, the owners must clearly state that the other people can use it in any way they like. Without these express permissions, the data cannot be considered open. At the other end of the spectrum, there is closed data. This is data that only people inside an organisation can see. National security, confidential business reports, and your mobile phone use are all examples of data that organisations keep to themselves. There can be good reasons why data is closed and why we don't want this data to become public. In between these 2 points is shared data. This is data that is shared with a specific group of people for a specific purpose. It is a broad term that covers a huge amount of the data that is collected every day. Your supermarket shopping habits and the electoral register are just 2 examples of shared data. So whenever we think about data, it's important to remember that data is considered closed, shared, or open because of the permission given on how it can be used and published. By understanding where data comes from, who can use it, and what can be done with it, we can seize the opportunities that it gives us. Data is already shaping and changing our world. What will you build?
So this is what we kind of moved towards. We started with this idea which wasn't fit for purpose, and then we built it out, and we are now communicating externally to an audience. And we kind of hope that we're reaching people with a simple message that anyone can understand, whether they're technically minded or they just, they don't even know what open data is. They can use this as a beginning point to get engaged and kind of see the possibility and see the potential. In other words, what we're trying to hit at is that this is for everyone, that open data is for everyone, and the knowledge around open data is for everyone as well, that it should benefit all. So it's with this message of everyone being included that we're embarking upon a new sector approach as well. We're looking at agri-tech this year, and we're also looking at smart cities. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our focus on smart cities now and kind of how we're beginning to kick that off again with a very simple core message and how we're then building that out. So I generally feel the area of smart cities can be prone to mass use of buzzwords. It's got a very high technological focus, is therefore potentially creating a technological space without first thinking about the humans that inhabit these spaces and what's needed. So our focus is on individuals and communities and how they can be empowered to improve their lives. A smart city is an open city is our kick-off message in the same way that our data definition has defined everything that we've produced. We're hoping that this idea of an open city will also define the way we speak and the research we do and the outputs that we create. So I guess the time of smart cities being thought of in terms of infrastructure and technology is kind of hopefully passing. Rather than asking what systems should be built using what technology to create sustainable urban environments, we should be engaging directly with our city's users to understand and improve their lives. A sustainable urban environment is far more than the sum of just its infrastructure. Much as the web has transformed our digital lives, opening up vast potential for new types of interaction, our physical spaces and systems are now becoming part of that connected conversation also. So we're exploring how we can create and share, collaborate and use information to create better cities. And we believe that the key to making a city smart is putting people and openness at the heart of its design and operation. Together, people create the cultures that shape a city's identity, its rhythm, its sense of community, its diversity, and ultimately ensures the collective well-being of its citizens. So basically what I'm trying to say is that open data culture should create better cities for everyone, and this is at the heart of the conversation that we're trying to have. So to re-emphasize, open data is data that anyone can access, use, and share. And in the context of smart cities, this could be data on local housing for government, real-time train times from rail companies, or finding supermarket locations. These are just really simple examples. But open data can help us better understand and interact with our cities. The potential also is in the ideas and concepts that haven't even been thought of, the ones that people will bring when they have access to this kind of information. Keeping infrastructures and markets open is the only scalable way to ensure equitable and secure growth in our cities. So we're hoping that this will allow people, open data will allow people to use tools and systems to transform our architecture, our environments, and our society for the better. So yeah, that's really it. That's kind of an overview of how we talk about different things in the ODI, the kind of outputs that we create, and this kind of new sector approach that we're taking with smart cities. We're continuing to develop our message, And we're really committed to communicating abstract ideas in ways that add value to the data conversation and everyone's understanding of what data is and how it can benefit our economy, our environment, and our society. And that's really it. So thank you very much for listening. I hope that was quite simple.